We are live, I'm told. Hello, YouTube. I hope you're doing better than we are because we are cold and we are very upset at the outcome of Kentucky versus Vanderbilt. The Wildcats, a 12-point favorite with everything in their favor. England doubleheaders, Big Blue Madness, everything perfect in Lexington. They come out here and lose to Vanderbilt for the second straight time in this building, 20-13. Let's go over the good things. Yep, that was the good thing conversation. Let's go to the bad things. How about 12 penalties, Nick Roush, for 106 yards, starting with the first drive. You had a Gerald Mincy holding, take back a Barron Brown 12-yard run. We had Dane Key get a 15-yard penalty, 0 points on the first drive, and the penalties and mistakes just continued from there.
What did Kirk Herbstreit say today? Winning a big game and then losing one, that's what Kentucky does, and that's what they did tonight, and they did it by shooting themselves in the foot. It was
tough to go, he says.
It was just so embarrassing because they got inside the 30-yard line 4 times and only had 7 points. I thought it was bad, and then it somehow kept getting worse, Drew. Like you mentioned the penalties that took away 3 points. That was nothing compared to getting a false start on the half-inch line and then not even getting a field goal because you can't hold the snap. Two times Wilson-Berry couldn't hold on to the football, and you'll have points on the board.
Yeah, I was just naming that first drive. The one on the 1 yard line, completely inexcusable. Like we talked about Mark Stoops and bye weeks going into this. We all know the stat, 0-8 against the spread. Again, at this point, what the hell is happening with bye weeks? I mean, they look so undisciplined, so unprepared for a team. You just beat the 6th-ranked team in the country 2 weeks ago. You should be thrilled, fired up, ready to get your season back on the right track, and you just drop another ball with 2 weeks to prepare.
Penalties haven't been an issue for this team.
Least penalized team in the SEC coming into this game.
So that's odd. It is what the data is. The data, like they're bad out of bye weeks. They just are. So you just kind of have to take that for what it is. We're year 12.
Yep.
It's not going to. I mean, it is what it is. To me, we'll get into the offense, but this was a 3-phase nightmare. Special teams. You had multiple penalties on special teams. It wasn't just. That was a 30-yard penalty, the Barry and Brown punt return.
Yeah.
And it's also maybe have Barry and Brown on punt return some more.
Novel idea.
And so that all happened. Special teams is bad. I don't even know what to say when you're dropping snaps. That's high school. It might be middle school.
One's too many, and they did it twice.
That cannot happen. Now, I don't think that really made a difference. I don't know if they make those kicks. I don't even know if it makes a difference in the final outcome. Defensively, I think, they didn't play. They played probably one of their worst games of the season. I think specifically those dive plays, they were in 2nd and 5 way too much. And if you let them get this offense get in 2nd and 5, Diego Pavia is magic. 3rd and 5 and less.
What was the third down finish like it? You got it off the dome?
It was 9 of 13 or something. It was something really high.
I thought it might have been a fluke a week ago, Drew, but no, they just had it in manageable situations. Kentucky couldn't get off the field. And another mistake we didn't mention was the roughing the passer on that first drive. I mean, Kentucky gave up a 97-yard scoring drive to this team that dinks and dunks down the field.
Yeah,
he's pump faking nobody. He's not throwing it. He's running and he's pump faking you and you're jumping.
A lot of this some of this falls on the defense. We just have to recognize it. Okay, they had the ball twice. At the 10-yard or worse, they got 10 points out of both those possessions. Kentucky didn't get a stop. You got to get a stop there. After that good punt that pins them to start the game, you got to get a stop there. Play complimentary football. They didn't do that, so that falls on the defense. 10-0, middle 8 rip. The offense they probably maybe should have got conservative, maybe run until you get out to maybe midfield, then take your chances. But the offense gives the ball, and the defense has 60 yards to play with. They don't get a stop. And so they go 10-0 in the middle 8, and that was a big part of the game. And then now I think we got to get into the offense.
5 touchdowns in 4 games.
There's been a lot of offensive coordinators roll in here, and it's the same issues.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially. They just can't score enough points in these games.
My biggest fear is kind of what happened. I mean, the defense could have been better, but I kind of thought Vandy would have that many points that Kentucky just wouldn't be able to score. And Roush, when Vandy went up 10, we're all looking at each other like, well, that's ball game. Your offense shouldn't be that bad that when you're down 10, we're throwing our arms in the air to Vandy.
Yeah, I just would like to say that I tried everything. I tried everything to switch up the mojo. When we were at Ole Miss, Kentucky wasn't playing well, and I realized it's because my phone was in my pocket. I took it out of my pocket, 4th and 6, Berrien Brown goes 60 yards. I did what needed to happen to win the game. Tonight, I tried everything. I took my hat off. I put it on. I went backwards. I went forwards. I went down to the bottom concourse. I went up to the upper concourse. I tried everything. We pulled out all the stops, and we can't beat Vanderbilt.
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with us?
I don't know what's wrong with this, but we gotta fix it.
Hey, I love this team still. I still love this team.
We love Kentucky.
I love
we love this
still.
team. We got a lot of faith, but oh my God, come on.
We'll be all right. Just wait. Just wait. We're going to win in Texas. We're going to win. We'll win every game. We'll win in Tennessee.
That play.
We'll win in Tennessee.
Fix
We're
it.
good. We're good. Yeah. Nah, these
What
guys.
was the fake? What was that fake play about? What was that about? Does anyone have a clue what was that about?
We have a lot of questions and not a lot of answers, unfortunately. Oh, sorry, we're all up in there. They're trying to enjoy the statue here. Let's let them at least have a good night.
It's not a good night, though, Drew.
We wore our black. Well, some of us wore our black. Roush and I wore
I
our
have
black.
that shirt, by the way. It's a good-looking shirt.
This one, yes, sir.
Great shirt.
Hey, Brooks Brothers goes a long way. It does.
How we doing?
It's basketball season.
Forget about football.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
This team's going to the playoff. Just wait.
Playoff.
We're going to the playoff. Just wait. Give us Texas.
I like
come
that
on.
attitude.
Now, I'm not afraid of this. I'm not afraid.
I don't want to hear that basketball bullshit.
We've got one guy ready.
I don't know what the field goal fake was about.
It wasn't a fake.
It was a mistake.
I think the long snapper or the holder, they probably skipped class for a couple of weeks. They can't show their face around campus. I think that they're done.
That could be it. But Lucky, what do we do next? Like you get that big win against Ole Miss, and you're thinking, all right, we'll throw South Carolina out. We can believe again. I mean, I think their playoff talk right now is a little crazy. But before this, we were thinking, okay, this season can be
You
salvaged.
could go to the Outback Bowl.
Yeah, but when you lose to Vandy at home, it's going to be hard to call however this ends a great success.
Good news, bad news. Good news. Only one more SEC home game.
They can't win at home.
2-10 in their last 12 SEC home games, and this is not like some bottom feeder. Like if power ratings, Nick, they were a top 30 team the last 3 years, and they cannot win home games.
They are bottom.
As a favorite, as a dog, they just can't win home games. They create ways to lose almost at home. Same time, I believe they're 6-5 on the road. So that's
2-10 at home, 6-5 on the road. It
so
doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to have the same kind of message I would have after the South Carolina game. Like, there's a lot of NFL players on this roster. There's a lot of ready-made draft picks right now. They will probably respond, and they'll probably win a couple more games. But at this point, they're 3-3 halfway through the season, 1-3 in league play. They've lost 2 one-possession games in league play in this building. 2 games you felt like Georgia we didn't know at the beginning, but in the game it felt like they should have won, and then Vandy. So it's trending to be a team where it's just going to be, they just couldn't put it together. It was a disappointing season.
I got to go talk to Mark Schuster.
Yeah, get in there. Talk to Mark.
My biggest thing going into this game is I thought the offense would be better, but when you got in the red zone, that's where they struggled all year. They're 15th in the SEC in red zone touchdown scoring percentage. I'm sure it was like 100th in FBS. It's bad, and we saw more of that today. They can move the ball, but they can't finish drives. They got to find a way to finish drives. That's the key. They're just leaving points out on the field, and I'm going to lose my mind over it.
Before you go, what's your question for Mark? Give us a little preview. We'll get practice in. Here, I'm Mark Stoops.
What the hell? Come on, what the hell, guy?
All right, go ask him.
I'll figure out a better one.
Go ask him what the hell.
What do you think about that play?
I'm trying to tell him. Which play in particular?
They're going for the fake. Come on, the fake.
It wasn't a fake.
Yeah, I don't think that was a
He
fake.
dropped the snap.
Yeah, he dropped the snap.
Not that one. The fake.
What about the
What
What about the first thing?
What about
That wasn't-
all of it? Really, the game was not good, start to finish, not well. Look, I'm thinking back when we got our schedule, and we were like, man, Texas, that sucks. Tennessee, that stinks. Ole Miss. But here we are halfway through the year, and the losses are South Carolina and Vanderbilt. I mean, what the hell? This is not how this is supposed to play out.
I mean, these are starting to become a theme here, Drew. You've lost 3 in a row to South Carolina. You've lost 2 of 3 to Vanderbilt, 2 in a row in this building. You just lost to Missouri. The last time you played them, you lost 2 of 4 to Missouri. These are stacking up. You haven't beat Tennessee since 2020. You own Florida. We'll see if that continues. But these defeats, they're stacking up. And, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And that's really what this feels like.
Pavia, I mean, he was good, but it's not like he just came in here and beat him.
Listen,
that first drive was impressive. He had 50 yards rushing through a 20-yard pass. They went the length of the field right away. I mean, he is talented, but it's not like he came in here and put on a Johnny Manziel show.
They play a unique brand of football, and they minimize your opportunities, so you have to maximize your opportunities. Kentucky did not do it. And just like Nick mentioned, finishing drives, Vandy finished They even made 2 field goals, a 49 and a 50-yarder. They finished their scoring opportunities. Kentucky didn't, mainly because of penalties. Like, penalties were a big deal, and then you can't drop, the snap issue as well. So, again, it was kind of stunning the amount of errors they made. I would almost bet Mark Stoops in his press conference probably compares it to the South Carolina game, just the long list of errors they made. And at some point, man, like, you just got to be able to score 21 points in a football game and win it.
What did you think about so much Gavin Wims did early? It just felt like the game's getting started and we're trying to get Brock some rhythm and saw a lot of him.
I think that's a good point.
Demi had a lot of touches early. He was doing well, but
I think that's a great point. I think maybe what they're struggling with a little bit is they don't really have a true go-to guy on this offense. Seems like they're trying that, maybe let Dane Key be that, but then he has some big mistakes.
Dane was off tonight. Love Dane, made some big plays, but
he
more
makes
mistakes.
He makes some big mistakes early in the game. I thought the running back usage was a little odd to start the game.
You were wanting to see Wilcox early.
Demi had a good game. I'm not saying he didn't play well, but Wilcox brings a different gear, and I think you saw it when he was in there. Now, he's not well-rounded like Demi, and the pass protection is an issue, but again, offensive line, holding calls, they didn't play well. I thought maybe we would see a better performance from them against a mortal defensive front after playing a bunch of NFL guys. First 3 SEC games, that didn't happen. I mean, it was just a really, really disappointing performance on all levels, and it makes you wonder, like, what is not necessarily the direction of the season to me. What's the big picture direction of the program? I think that's a fair question to ask after that.
One more complaint. It's another Stoops tradition, although this was a little different, but you get the ball with 2 minutes and 20 seconds before halftime. It's a tie game. How do you go in 14-7? I mean, they completely botched it. I think that
botched it, yeah.
Might have been when they broke the big run and 3 straight incompletions. You give the ball to Vandy with time to score. I mean, Vandy should have never had an opportunity to put points on the board. 7-7, go in the break, 14-7. Instead, it's just the end of the second quarter, before halftime. We have seen them lose that so many times, so many different ways. It goes with the bye week, this current home funk we're on. It's just these trends. We keep taking the same hits, and it's kind of inexcusable. I don't even know what to say about it. We just keep seeing the same thing over and over.
And they lost the game by 7. Really should have lost it by 6 or 3. They shouldn't have had that. If you just run out the clock, they probably shouldn't even had an opportunity to score. And again, a 10-0 Middle Lake rip.
I mean, that's Nick Roush. That's not Luckett. That's Roush. That guy looked like he was serious. I've never seen Adam Luckett in my life. Odd vibes down here. We're hearing some Stoops things. We're hearing some yelling things. Last night's Rapid Reaction was a lot more fun, Stephen Peak. I don't know if we're going to do 30 minutes tonight.
Wilson's the last Kentucky quarterback to beat Vanderbilt at home.
Great. That's great, Stephen. Does anyone else have any fun facts about losing to Vanderbilt? You guys, nothing? I think we'll just go ahead and shut it down because this kind of sucks, to be honest. Luckett and I have a lot more work to do. We're bummed. This was supposed to be a perfect weekend. Everything was great. I can't say enough good things about how Lexington felt all the way up until 7:45 tonight. Tailgating was good. Of course, the basketball fun last night just carried it over. Everything was right for this to be a special weekend. Could have been the weekend of the year in Lexington. We're all going home pissed off because Kentucky dropped the ball. What was great? Crowd was great. He was great. Everyone's great. And the blackout, too. I got to sign off here, man. We'll talk in just a second. But everything should have been fine. I'm done with this. It sucks. You cannot lose to Vanderbilt. 2-touchdown favorite coming out of a bye week. And to play like that, 12 penalties for 106 yards. This is just not the Kentucky football we thought to see tonight, but that's what showed up. Bye.